Alrighty, everyone. Hello, hello. So we're going to go ahead and start. And to begin, we're going to be talking about the needs and the rights of the elderly. So as we age, we often face additional needs and challenges connected to getting older. If a family member, a neighbor, or a friend has reached a point where he needs assistance with his daily routine, you'll need to know what those daily needs are, right? Allow him to be as independent while respectfully helping him with the tasks that have become more difficult. So, to begin, we're going to be discussing mobility. So, mobility is important to the elderly, even if it's just within their own surroundings. So, make sure that they are properly fitted for either a wheelchair, a motorized mobility chair, walker, or a cane. Install a wheelchair ramp, handrails, and wider door wells to make sure getting around the house is hassle free. A hospital bed, a shower chair, lift, or a tripod bar may assist with getting up from bed or staying safe in the shower. Moving on to transportation. Transportation can be life saving to an elderly person. If he can no longer drive, set up transportation so that he can get to and from medical appointments and physical therapy. Having a caretaker or an assistant who visits on certain days to take an elderly person to run errands, to attend a social function, or to go to the doctor is very beneficial to them. Moving on to medication. So, senior citizens need proper medication to remain healthy. This begins with adequate medical care, such as doctor's visits, dental care, foot care, eye care, physical therapy, and psychiatric therapy if needed. If they need assistance with taking their pills or giving themselves shots of insulin, a home health nursing system may need to be added to their daily plan of care. Alrighty, so personal care. Personal care is a very important daily need for a senior citizen. She may need assistance with bathing, dressing, and personal grooming. A home health aide or other family member can help with these tasks if necessary. All right, and then moving on to nutrition. An elderly person needs that proper nutrition to stay healthy and enjoy a comfortable life, right? So, have a nutritionist or a caregiver go over a daily meal plan just to know what food best fits the person's lifestyles. Meals can be prepared weekly, so it's easier for the senior citizen to heat and eat a warm meal every single day. There are programs such as Meals on Wheels that ensures that elderly people do receive at least one healthy meal a day. All right, so that is going to be it for the clients. The needs of the elderly. So now we're going to be moving on to the client rights. So, a written notice of rights and responsibilities shall be provided to each client or responsible party, if applicable, when the service agreement is completed. This notice will be given to the client as part of the client's patient information handbook. So, to begin talking about the client's rights, the client has the right to be informed about plans of services and to participate in the planning. The client's preferences regarding days and times of service will be honored when possible, but if not possible, the client will be offered the option of referral to another provider. They also have the right to be promptly and fully informed of any changes in the plan of service. So, changes in time of service and availability or change in staff will be reported to the client residents as soon as possible before the service so that the client retains the right to either accept or refuse the service. So they do have the right to accept or refuse service. So for the client who has not been adjudicated, the right to accept or refuse services must be respected. Refusal of services will be reported to the supervisor immediately when the client could potentially suffer harm from the refusal of service. So, an example of that would be an individual who, if left alone, could not flee a burning house or just might wander off and get lost on their own. Continuing on to the client's rights, they have the right to be fully informed of the charges for services. They have the right to be informed of the name, the business telephone number, the business address of the person supervising services, and how to contact that person. They also have the right to be informed of the complaint procedures and the right to submit complaints without fear of discrimination or retaliation and to have them investigated by MedSide within a reasonable period of time. The administrator is designated to handle complaints and questions. They can be reached at 404-633-7433 and are located at 1120 Hope Road, Sandy Springs, Georgia 30350. All right, so continuing on, they also have the right of confidentiality of client records. They have the right to have property and residence treated with respect. They have the right to receive a written notice of the address and the telephone number of the state licensing authority. So, for example, the department in which further explains that the department is charged with the responsibility of licensing MedSide and investigating client complaints which appear to violate licensing regulations. And that is all taken care of by the Department of Community Health Healthcare Facility Regulation Division, Healthcare Section 2. And we have attached the address in case you guys wanted to keep that for your own personal reference, and along with the phone number and another phone number for only complaints. All right, so they also have the right to obtain a copy of MedSide's most recent completed report of the licensure inspection for MedSide upon written request. So MedSide is not required to release the report of licensure inspection until MedSide has had the opportunity to file a written plan of correction for the violations, if any, identified. The facility may charge the client a reasonable photocopying charge. They also have the right to be advised the client and the responsible party, if applicable, must advise MedSide of any changes in the client's condition or any events that affect the client's service needs. So, a change in the client's condition or event that affects the client's service needs may include, but is not limited to, medication changes, any change in functional limitations, admission to the hospital, etc., etc. Okay, so that is going to be it for the client rights. Now let's go ahead and move on to the client's responsibilities. So just like you as an aide, we all have our own rights and responsibilities. So going on to their client responsibilities, they do have the responsibility to notify service providers of any changes in care needs. They have the responsibility to treat provider staff in a courteous and a respectful manner, as well as cooperate with and respect the rights of the caregivers providing care. They have the responsibility to be as accurate as possible when providing information on health history and personal care needs. And then they also have the responsibility to participate actively in decisions regarding individual health care and service care plan. All right, so moving on. They also have the responsibility to comply with agreed upon care plans, the responsibility to notify the member's physician, service providers, and or caregivers of any changes in one condition, the responsibility to maintain a safe home environment or to inform providers of the presence of any safety hazard in the home. They have the responsibility to be available to the provider staff at times services are scheduled to be rendered. And also, they have the responsibility to pay any cost share liability if applicable. All right, and that does look like that is going to do it for now. So we have attached a couple references that we have used during this PowerPoint, where if you want to dive deeper and just take a look, here are the 3 links for you guys. And that is all we have today. So you guys take care. Thank you. Bye-bye.